Hello guys, Jessa here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have this fall autumny look for you guys. So initially I was not planning to make it so dramatic, but it ended up being like this, so we're going to roll with that. Okay? If you want to know how I got this look, please keep watching.
To begin with, I'm applying the Urban Decay primer portion all over my eyelids and blending that out using my fingers as usual. So for this look, I will be using the Morphe 35F palette, and I'm taking this color from the palette and applying that as my transition color using a big fluffy brush, just going back and forth and building the color up. Now I'm taking this deeper, warmer shade and applying that on the outer V's and gradually building it on the crease using a MAC 217 brush. So I'm just going slowly and steadily and building up the color. Now for the fun part, I'm going to use this beautiful cranberry shade from this palette and applying that all over my eyelids using a flat brush. I think this brush is by Urban Decay. It came with one of their naked palettes. So I'm just building that color up. Now I'm applying this black matte shade on the outer V of my eyelids and I'm just gradually blending that towards the cranberry shade. I'm using an Eco Tools brush, which is a small blending brush, and making sure the black blends well into the cranberry shade. And again going over with that warm crease shade and making sure all the colors are blended well. Cranberry shade on my fingers and reapplying it on my eyelids. I don't know why I'm using my middle finger. I totally don't understand. And I'm going to go over with the black shade again to deepen the look. When you use your finger to apply your shimmery shades, it kind of gives you more intensity. Now I'm applying the Rimmel Kohl pencil on my upper and lower waterline. And also I'm taking this Kohl pencil and applying really close to my upper lash line and just smoking that out using a brush because I'm not going to apply any eyeliner for this look. Now I did apply some false lashes off camera because I cannot do it while the camera is on. I need to be really close to a mirror and I really am not good at it. So now I'm using a dark brown eyeshadow to fill in the eyebrows and making sure it looks at least like far relatives because they are two different shapes. So I'm just trying to make it look a little bit similar and applying this brow mascara by Bourjois on top of it. Now for primer, I'm using the Benefit Porefessional Matte Rescue Primer and applying that on my face. Now for foundation, I'm mixing these two foundations by Maybelline Fit Me range. One is the original one and the other one is the Matte and Poreless one. I'm in the shade 220 for the Dewy original one, and Matte and Poreless I'm using the shade 230. I'm just dotting that all over my face and just blending that using the Real Techniques fat brush, and I'm going over with this Real Techniques sponge to make sure the foundation looks really blended. Now for concealer, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal. I'm using the shade Pure Beige. I was not in the mood to highlight my face. I'm just concealing my under eye circles, my gorgeous under eye circles. And I'm just applying that and blending out using the Real Techniques sponge again. And for setting my under eye area, I'm just using the Mercier translucent powder. I have to set my under eyes, otherwise the concealer always gets into the fine lines. I have a lot of fine lines underneath my eyes. Now I'm using the Maybelline Mastersculpt Duo to contour my cheekbones. I'm using the Real Techniques sculpting brush here, and I like to kind of like change the direction after I apply the contouring shade just to blend out the contour a little bit. Now I'm using the Morphe eyeshadow blending brush to contour my nose. And I'm warming up my face using the Rimmel Natural bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. I love using a bronzer. It just makes your face look so much better. I don't like using just the foundation because it just kind of looks so flat when you don't apply a bronzer. Personally, I love using a bronzer because it kind of gives a little bit of dimension to the face. Now for highlighter, I'm using the Becca Champagne Pop Highlighter. I'm using this brush by a brand called Sarah Artistry and applying that on my cheekbones. Now for my lower lash line, I'm taking that warmer shade and applying that underneath the lower lash line and just smoking it out. Now I'm just taking that black shade on a Morphe pencil brush and applying it really close to the lash line. And then I'm taking an angle brush to intensify that black color. Now I'm just highlighting my inner corners using the Becca Champagne Pop. And also I'm highlighting the brow bone. Sorry, the color of my video is going on and off because of the sun. I'm applying some mascara on my lower lashes. And highlighting the bridge of my nose. Lips, I'm lining my lips using the Rimmel lip liner in the shade Black Tulip. And I'm also filling the inner corners of my lips. And for filling my lips, I'm using this gorgeous shade by Gerard Cosmetics. It's called Cordial and it's such a beautiful fall shade. I really love it. It looks a little vampy, but I like it. So I want to keep my cheeks natural and really neutral, so I'm using this NYX Terracota blush.
So that completes the look. I really hope you enjoyed this video and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys later. Bye bye.